La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. There we go. That's an even better spot, I feel like. I just want to make sure that everybody can see the nice lapel mic. Because I'm actually able to use it. Finally. Able to use it on a phone stream. And with Prism, I can do screen recording, which means that it'll be pretty easy for me to bring people on via Discord and stuff using my phone in the future. So many improvements. Taylor! What's up, Taylor? How you doing? How's my audio sound today? You sound different? Well, I should. I should sound at least a little different. Hopefully it's different in a good way. It doesn't sound bad, it just sounds a little muted. Huh. It sounds a little muted, eh? Let's see what I can do here. Audio mixer. Well, let's see. Automatic, wired, microphone, wired. Yeah, okay, well. The loogie sounded up close and personal. No! No, that's no good. I'm gonna have to be quieter about that then. But it is right next to my throat, so that makes sense. I did, the streaming software that I'm using allows me to do a microphone sound test, so I was able to verify functionality before I started up. But I honestly couldn't tell with my simple layperson ears whether or not the iPhone audio sounded better or the Rode mic sounded better. I'm certain that the Rode mic is going to sound better than my webcam mic inside, so I know it'll be an improvement for desktop streams. But honestly, if you guys, if we try out the wireless Rodes for a few days on these streams and the sound quality seems to be better on the iPhone's internal mic, then we'll just use that from here on out. But we're gonna test it out. I keep getting reels on Insta for the Revolutionary Communists of America. I blame Phoebe. You should. Although, in my opinion, that kind of sounds like a weird, like a conservative front organization, or like one of those weird organizations that the feds will create to try and get lefties into a group that's easier for them to control, kind of like a controlled opposition thing, or like a COINTELPRO information hole, basically. But I don't know. I haven't looked into them, so What are your pronouns? She, her, hers. Once we got a few people in here, we are going to talk about Trump's constant market manipulation using the Iran war as the fulcrum. And we'll also talk a little bit about the horrible weather that's coming up for most of America over the course of the next week and a half. Normally, I don't talk that much about weather, but it's kind of on my mind because it's like climate change adjacent. So, yeah, hit that like button, send in a dono, gift memberships, and don't forget, in an hour, we are going to switch to a members-only live chat, so if you want to be able to continue talking at that point, make sure you sign up for the membership now so that you'll be ready and amped for it. Don't pay attention to these road folks. As long as you're happy, all is good. I mean, I pay attention to them as insofar as it takes me to, like, respond to their comments, but I don't let their hateful bullshit carry on to the rest of my day, if that's what you mean. So, Axios dropped an article earlier today, or, well, I guess it was yesterday now, saying something about how, talking about how, according to inside sources and Trump's Truth Social, a deal is just around the corner, and it's just about ready, and Tehran says they've just got a few details to parse out. But I've got problems with that reporting, see? Because Axios has been the same fucking paper that has released all of these stories that have just happened to coincide with the last couple of days of the market being open before it closes for the weekend, and that always seem to follow up a worsening in the tensions of war in the beginning of the week. Why is that? Could it be that the Trump administration and the billionaires that own and control it are using the first few days of any given week and the Iran war in tandem to create conditions that make the market go up and up and up, and then on Friday or Thursday they tell everybody about how much things are going to improve and about how quickly they're going to improve in that direction in order to make things go back down again? It's a pump and dump scheme, and the fact that it's being allowed at the not just like the top levels of our government, but at the very top level of our government is by far the most egregious fucking financial scandal of my lifetime. There's nothing that even compares. Obama healthcare? No, no. Obama giving a blank check to the health insurance companies and basically perpetuating a world in which insurance middlemen continue to be intimately involved in the in the granting of your care. Pretty big scandal. Yeah, pretty big deal. Not nearly as big, not nearly as unaccountable as what Donald Trump is doing right now. Not even an order of magnitude similar. They're not even in the same ballpark. Grow the beard? That'd be pretty weird as a woman to have like a beard walk around. Like that'd be, kind of strange, honestly. Especially considering I'm a trans woman, we tend to keep that pretty tightly shaved. But there are bearded ladies that are perfectly, pretty and deserving of respect. So I don't know. It's up to you ultimately. But me personally, I will not be growing any beard. Man, religious comments are starting to get on my nerves, y'all. I'm telling you, this religious nonsense is starting to get fucking tiresome. Jesus, 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 just like fuck, man, what, do, bro? Listen, okay, homie, I grew up in the Pentecostal church, all right. I'm familiar with the story of Christ, okay. I don't need it told to me and shoved down my throat multiple times every day. It's so hard to do a conversational type of content when there are so many people in the modern day that are just brain dead zombies that aren't even interested in having a conversation. The only reason they think they have language is so that they can spread the Bronze Age bullshit that they were raised with. That's the only reason in their minds that they have the capacity to speak. Cool guitar, what do you do for a living? You're watching it. Exactly this. I produce content here on this channel that people will super chat, donate on Cash App, or sign up for a membership to help support. We talk about current events, leftist politics, religion, philosophy, all kinds of stuff. I don't claim to be an expert in anything except perhaps the relationship between the very poorest and the very richest and the richest country on earth. I like the philosophy of the secular humanist and the historical materialist. That encompasses quite a few thinkers. Unbelievable. What's up, Charles? I've never read the Bible, but what I believe in is basically if someone likes something, it's real to them because, no, that's a really bad way to do it. Because, see, that works fine if your religious authority only commands you to make a certain day worth more than other days. Or if your religious, commandments only say to treat other people nicely or whatever, then maybe that's fine. Maybe it's cool. And in fact, in a world like that, it would be great if we could all just embrace the fact that we all have different religions and different ways of looking at this, right? Unfortunately, the world's religions are not that, they are not so developed. They are not so made as to allow people to accept the validity of those beliefs without living by the ritual of those beliefs. Like, you can go to a Catholic mass anonymously pretty easily, but I imagine there's only so many times you can go before somebody starts wondering why you are only there for Sunday mass. Starts asking questions. Eventually the implication is going to be pay up. Do you support Therians? I don't even know what Therians is, dude. Some people have described it to me, and to me it just sounds like a rewriting of Otherkin. But my thing about Otherkin was always basically the same as what I think my opinion would be on Therians if they're real. Which is, ultimately, if somebody thinks they're a fucking toaster, what is it, like, what difference does it make in my life? Do I think they're accurate in that assessment? No, not exactly. Do I think that scientific consensus backs up the experience of, otherkin or Therian people the way it does trans people? No, not exactly. But it's also like, what are you asking me to accept alongside this belief? Is it just like a simple change in the way that I refer to you? Okay, I can deal with that. All right, that's fine, you know, and as long as it stays within reasonable boundaries like that, then I don't see why anybody needs to be worried about it. Ultimately, if somebody wants to go around dressed like a wolf and have everybody call them pup self, what fucking business is it of everybody else's? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you got to be able to differentiate between my community and my trolls. Now, the troll community here is bigger than the broader, like, regular community, but you can usually spot the regulars by looking to see if they're members or mods, right? Every mod in here is somebody that I like and enjoy talking to. And then members are usually people who enjoy this content enough and show up enough that they value being able to continue even when I switch it to members only chat, which, by the way, is going to be in about 45 minutes. Name, Goyam Slayer. Comment, what wildlife? She's talking to people on YouTube. Why do I get the impression that this is not the beginning of a long and lucrative association? You guys smell that? Smells like dog shit. Sorry, I meant to say groiper. Yep, smells like sister fucking and Pabst Blue Ribbon. Don't worry, the groiper knows what a groiper is. This is like that moment when the bartender at the like far left socialist bar gets the bat from behind the counter when a Nazi walks in and just kind of does like that to it. And the Nazi walks back out and the bartender yells after him like, fucking fascist pig. And somebody just turned 21 happens to be there for their 21st birthday and they're like, what's a fascist? And you just say, it doesn't matter. They know. You'll figure out eventually. You'll puzzle it out through time and exposure. I'm not a Nazi, I'm Jewish. Well, if the state of Israel is anything to be used as an example, merely being Jewish does not exclude someone from doing genocidal things. I wish it did. I certainly wish it did. Not to say that everybody in Israel that is committing the genocidal actions of the IDF is a practicing Jew. Indeed, secular Jewish people are just as responsible for the ongoing atrocities happening in Palestine and Iran and southern Lebanon, etc., at the behest of Israel. It should not be seen as something for which all Jewish people are responsible, but the idea that merely being Jewish excludes you from fascist behavior is a bullshit one. And it's one that the IDF likes to hide behind. Okay, well, if you're not a Groiper and you're not a troll, you might want to change your name because Goyim Slayer makes you just sound like a fucking Groiper Nazi fuck, honestly. And everybody you interact with is going to interface with you the same way I just did, unless they themselves are a Nazi. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you just genuinely don't know and you're just like 16 and came up with a funny name. She's smoking a blunt. You doing all right, girl? Yeah, I'm. I'm doing good. I just, I had an open blunt pack, and I wanted to use the other wrap. Did you hear Dead Internet Theory was confirmed the other day, Phoebes? Hasn't it been confirmed like a billion times at this point? How was it most recently confirmed? You can tell me all about it. I don't look very healthy. I mean, I'm fat. You got me there. Although I have been walking again, so that's good. I've been taking regular walks every day. I need to get back to drinking mostly water throughout the day. It's one of the reasons why next time I get paid, one of the things I think I might buy for the house, even it's going to be like $600 to buy it, but still, I want to get a whole house filtration system and put that on our line going from the well to the house. That way we have better water, because our tap water is perfectly safe to drink, but it's just not very tasty to drink. At least not to me as an adult. And it sucks, because when I was a kid, I used to love the taste of our tap water. It's high in iron, which by itself would be fine, but it's also pretty high in sulfur, which means, and sulfur and manganese, which combined don't make for exceptionally good tasting water. So. Lots of hard water in America, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I mean, pretty much anywhere you go is going to have some kind of weird little weirdness with the water. I mean, you can get water that's not hard and that doesn't carry with it a ton of sediment if you're in certain places, but it's not exactly easy. And in some of the places where that's possible, it's because you have to go so fucking down deep in the aquifer that you're touching essentially pristine water. Hey girl, what's up? What's up? What's up? That makes sense. Yes, yeah, for sure. I just feel like if I get a whole house filter, then even if I don't get to run to the spring, because normally we've got a freshwater spring that is not hard water, that is not contaminated water. It's super fresh, contains no high levels of anything. It's just really good water, and we will normally fill up a bunch of gallon jugs with that water like once a month. But I haven't been able to do that in a while because we've been so fucking goddamn busy over the last month that I've just been drinking, like, I don't know, bullshit over the last week and a half, really. And I can tell it's taking a toll on my health. I don't feel as good as I did when I was drinking mostly water throughout the day, so I want to get back to that, definitely. Does the water contain Zionists? I doubt it. Zionists are a problem, but I'm not one of these people that goes around saying that we are completely controlled by Israel. I might make the occasional joke to that effect, but I'm always very clear to clarify that it's really American billionaire interests that preserve Israel's status in the Middle East, not the other way around. Damn it. This blunt is seizing up on me. pedos run the world, it's not that simple. It's billionaires. You understand, right? It's not like there's something particular about pedophiles that makes them rise to the top of power. There's not. It's not. That's not how it works. There are literally millions of pedophiles who get arrested all over the world every year, who are regular working class people. And it's not like they just, go before the court and it's like, oh, you are a pedo, so we shall dismiss that. It's not, that's not how it works, thankfully. As a victim of fucking CSA, I'm glad that that's not how it works. As a victim of childhood sexual abuse, I'm glad that we put those people away when they're not billionaires. But I wish we would put them away when they are billionaires. And that's the main problem with the Epstein files. The real big revelation with the Epstein files is not that it's not that pedophiles run the world. It's that Marxist historical materialist critique was always correct about the striation with class systems and the difference between incomes and the different privileges conferred to those at the very top of the fucking class hierarchy, and the sheer, like, the cruel punishments and surveillance enacted on those at the bottom of the hierarchy creates a system, a two-tiered system of justice where people at the very top are able to get away with horrible, reprehensible crimes that the average person would never be able to get away with, and people at the very bottom are held to a rigid moral standard that everybody agrees should be held to everybody, but is not, because of a fucking system that prioritizes profits over people. And because of a fucking class dynamic that goes back 300, 400, 500 years, depending on how long you want to take it back, and that has been the source of constant class-based consternation for at least the last 200 years. There being a fucking cabal of pedophiles running everything is just a fucking consequence of that. It's a consequence of systems and processes that were described by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels all the way back in the 1800s. That's not me being a fucking communist. That's just me fucking telling you guys how it is. I'm an anarchist, personally. I don't think Marx and Engels went far enough. But they were undoubtedly correct to point out how the long story of history can be used as a tool of observation and prediction for the future, and how class dynamics were already shaping the world, and what the shape that it had left it in already would lead to in the future. Corruption and crimes is called New York, which people love. You know what, motherfucker? I'm from fucking Mississippi. I grew up in a trailer. Let me tell you something about New York. At least when New York does crime, there's fucking style to it. At least when New Yorkers commit crime, they do it with a fucking accent that's somewhat pleasing to the ears, and they do it in a way that you can put in a fucking nice movie. You know what my people do when we commit crime? And by that I mean Southerners, trailer folk, not trans people, fucking trailer hicks like myself. You know what trailer hicks do when they get caught up in crime and corruption? Fucking shit that's just as reprehensible, trust me. Just look up Trailer Park Body Cam on YouTube anytime you want to, and watch the type of shit that white rednecks in fucking country-ass, hick-ass, bumfuck, hayseed trailer parks get up to on a Friday night. Talk to me about corruption. You will find the most reprehensible fucking hoarding. You will find the most reprehensible fucking child abuse and just rampant hard drug abuse. And not the kind of hard drug abuse where people are kind of cognizant of the fact that they got a problem and they're trying to be somewhat fucking nice about it, like you get in a city like New York City. No, we're talking about motherfuckers that make their meth addiction your problem. Okay? So stop acting like New York City is the fucking center of all crime and corruption. It ain't. That felt good. There's no God. Come on, it's 2026. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I literally have this thought at least 10 times a day these days. All I can think is, man, Christopher Hitchens wrote God is Not Great in 2008, and here we are, almost 20 years later, still litigating this retarded battle. How fucking long ago did Nietzsche declare that God was dead, and here we are, still fighting his ghost, sitting crowned upon the grave? I thought that was a chip clip to hold your dress up. Good to know it's a mic. Yeah, no, it's actually, a pretty fancy mic. It was a $90 pair of microphones, but Rode wireless micros. How do I sound, by the way? Do I sound good? I hope. I really hope I do. Taylor said I sounded somewhat muted, but I'm hoping that that means that I sound more even. Level mic, very nice. You sound way clearer. Yes. Yeah! Fuck yeah! I've done it! Oh, that feels good. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm gonna come. I'm kidding. That was a joke. YouTube, please don't ban me. That was a joke. That was a total joke. Satire, satire, satire. There's nothing happening. Okay? Please don't ban me, YouTube. I'm just happy because my mic works, okay? There's no nudity. There's nothing going on. Believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to shake you. I just want to grab you by the shoulders and go, it's 2026! When are you gonna figure this out? There's no fucking magical man up there, okay? I wish that there was sometimes. I really do. I really fucking do. You know, I'm not even kidding. Like, sometimes it would be nice if there was the fucking magical and pleasant vision of a New Testament God that some people have. That would be cool. But for some reason, people can't have that. It's got to be the fucking New Testament benevolent God for them, and then the crazy motherfucking gonna kill you with a knife, motherfucker, Old Testament God. And I can't vibe with that person, okay? I can't. The Old Testament God, as recognized as such by the fucking Gnostics, is a reprehensible, temperamental bitch. And nobody should worship that fucking motherfucker. Okay? So it would be nice if there was some fucking generous, benevolent fucking deity looking out for us all and ordaining all of this to our favor. But clearly there isn't. Because we can already tell that our planet is actively trying to shake us off like a bad case of fleas, like George Carlin once said. And as Christopher Hitchens once pointed out, the fact of it is our sun will eventually fizzle out, and before that, the oceans will boil and cause human life, along with all plant life and animal life, to expire if it hasn't done so by then, and will probably be killed by much more present and prescient warming and cooling cycles before any of that can ever happen to begin with. So why do we need so much focus on the end of the world, or where my fucking soul might go after I die? I gotta tell you, I've lost a few people in my life. A few people that were gone way before their time. One of my friends just lost somebody. And every day I think about my Aunt Raina, who passed away when she was 43 years old. And I think about how her husband's religion kept her from living life to the fullest. And I think about how his use of that religion and that faith to subjugate her led effectively to her eventual death, and led to her living a life that after a while was hardly her own, and it was cut short before she ever got to experience it. And I sit and wonder, in the absence of heaven, 43 years, and what of it? She should still be here. And if it weren't for the lunatic, raving preachings of Jehovah's Witnesses, maybe she would be. But people want to come at me with that same type of grief and use that to justify their belief in a hateful, punitive deity that sits around in the clouds watching you masturbate and judging you for everything you do wrong, and might just hazard to let you into heaven if you suck his dick enough in the here and now. And to me, there is nothing more reprehensible. The JWs took my cousin. His parents refused to give him a blood transfusion. Yeah, dude, King Bugs, I relate to that. That's not exactly what happened with my Aunt Raina, but, you know, I don't want to get into it, but, like, man, I just think about it. I think about it all the fucking time. Where would she be? What would she be doing? What would her life have been like had she not married someone who was indoctrinated into that cult and who was willing to indoctrinate her? And the amount of corpses that one cult alone, which claims to be an offshoot of Christianity, has at its doorstep stretches so high into the clouds that you can't even see the apex on a clear day. And that's before we even get into the mountain of corpses for which every other variety of Christianity is responsible. So please, miss me with your preaching. It always feels good to get something like that out. You know, I always feel a little bad for the people that are, you know, Christian and watch me, and I don't want them to feel like I'm condemning them just because I'm talking so boldly about these people who do want to make Christianity such a fundamental aspect of everyone else's lives. But it needs to be called out. It really does. How are you today? I'm good. I just got confirmation that my mic works good and that it sounds better, so... The real test, though, is does it work with the guitar? Here in about 20 minutes, we'll switch over to members-only live chat, and we will see. So, if you want to support the channel, sign up for a membership now so you can continue to chat after we switch over. Because it's a good baseline for a civil society, and I'm not even religious. It's not really. Our modern morality is completely incompatible with most visions of biblical morality, including New Testament visions. Very often, for example, Christ is thought of as a peacemaker, right? And he's thought of as like he's portrayed as the Prince of Peace and this like ultimate hippie, basically. But really, the Old Testament doesn't mention hell, weirdly enough. It's one of the reasons why Jewish people don't believe in it. or at least don't believe in a firm vision of hell the way Pentecostals do, for example. But the Old Testament, interestingly enough, doesn't really speak of hell. It certainly doesn't go into the amount of just I don't know even how to put it. The amount of just ludicrous detail that Christ puts into hell. For all of his faults, as Hitchens once said, the God of the Old Testament, when he finally when the graves finally were pulled over his victims, he was, for the most part, done with them, unless he remembered to curse their successive progeny. It's not until you get to the New Testament and the so-called Prince of Peace that you start to hear all this rhetoric about a flaming pit where your worm dieth not. And that is a completely incompatible vision. Even if you think about American prison systems and how horrible they are, that is not how we look at crime and punishment. So, if you were trying to establish a theocratic society and you were trying to judge the harshness of Christ in terms of those who are to be punished for their unrighteousness at the end of time, and you were to use that as a basis upon which you would establish the severity of your punishments, you'd go a lot farther than American prison systems do, than any prison system does. Even Afghanistan and Iran, even they don't have prisons as horrible as a prison built according to biblical standards would be, if you extrapolate it to its ultimate logical conclusion. So no, I would not agree that the Bible is a good basis for morality, nor is any religion. There is no received faith that can replace the time-honored and perhaps actually sacred practice of Socratic dialogue, reasoning, rationale, and discussion that helps people to arrive at better moral understandings. There is no better replacement for that. There is no received doctrine that can replace that process. The same for many religions, they adapt to society, not the other way around. 100%. Yes. Yes. And there's long evidence of this. Now, once religion gets to a certain, place, once a religion if a religion should get to a certain zenith where it is accepted as how do I put this? So a religion has to do two things, right, in order to be able to start shaping the culture. And even then, eventually that influence will fall off, but it has to do two things. Number one, it has to be taken up as a state religion. This is one of the reasons why Islam is like a modern example of this happening, but it happened with Christianity way before it ever happened with Islam. Okay, happened with with Rome basically taking up the mantle of Christianity and basically forming the Catholic Church as a continuation of Roman authority in the Western world, without the same sort of rigid military infrastructure and the same sort of faux democracy that had to be maintained and everything. There were a lot of political advantages behind Constantine taking up Christianity when he did. But ultimately, that's one of the things that has to happen, is it has to be taken up as a state religion. And number two, it has to reach a certain zenith, where it is not only state-sponsored, but also spread across a wide enough area with that combination of religious influence and state monopoly on violence to be able to enforce its religious codex on other things. But even then, in the process of attempting to garner more converts, right? So in the process of leading up to this zenith, right? In order to get to that place, these religions have to adopt some of the weird peculiarities of the religions that they are taking over. That's why Christianity has so many, like modern Protestant Christianity, but even Catholic services, That's why modern Christianity has so many pagan elements to its Christmas celebrations and to its holiday celebrations in general, is because the Catholic Church needed ways, and in early Protestant churches as they spread, they needed ways to make people's older, more established traditions vibe with the Christian teachings that they were instructing their children in, and that they were forcing or highly encouraging conversions out of the native populations towards. Let's see here. Freedom of religion, practice what you want, but when it comes to shaping a society, again, picking Christianity as a reference point does more good than harm. Does it? How do you feel about the whole Israel-Palestine conflict? Thank you for the food for thought. I appreciate your honest opinions and enjoy the step away from the same cookie cutter, safe, spoon fed answers. Hey, I appreciate that somebody sees that in me. Yeah. Fuck it, door's open anyway. I appreciate it a lot, and I I'll say this much: I'm not big enough, or none of my beliefs are mainstream enough to be paid by anybody to say the shit I say, except my audience. So I kind of get to say whatever the fuck I want, which means I tell you what I think. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes it's a stupid opinion, but it's not a safe spoon-fed answer because I just don't know how to. I frankly and flatly don't know how to deliver that. It's not in me. Never has been. It's probably why I've mostly worked in retail and food service most of my life, till I found, till I started doing this. Christian nations don't support Israel by default. Look at the European countries, they hate Israel. Their people hate Israel, but many of their governments continue to support Israel, and much of that is because of the influence of people high up in the clergy in certain instances. Now, the Catholic Church has, of course, started to take a much firmer stance on this issue, because, of course, the Catholic Church actually has like a deeper understanding of the the prophecies, right? So I don't believe Catholics when they tell me they're fucking biblical myths either, but they do have a more consistent vision of the world than Pentecostals do. And they also, I think, take their Bible a little bit more literally in places where it makes sense to, such as do not wait around for the end of the world. It shall come like a thief in the night, or some shit like that. You will hear Catholics remind you of that. Occasionally, you'll hear witnesses remind you of it, but it's usually something you'll hear, Catholics and people who are not concerned with the rapture or the end of the world bring up in their argumentation. So there are certain, and it is mostly European clergy that oppose that. But there's still lots of people high up in, especially like Protestant circles, that are very much dedicated to the project of Greater Israel, because many Protestants believe that human beings have to actively work, or I should say can actively work, to fulfill biblical prophecy. The most secular societies are clearly better. Yeah, no, literally. Just look at the European countries that are. It's funny that someone cited, European countries as Christian nations when, in fact, like insofar as the people go, lots of European countries are way less religious than America is. So calling any of those countries Christian countries, I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where religion has, in particular Christianity, it has embedded itself so deeply into the culture and governance of places like America, Canada, Great Britain, etc., that it's hard for I guess it's hard for me to discount the idea that they're not Christian nations, if for no other reason than because Christianity refuses to extricate itself from the power structures of those places. Pagans should have equal treatment 100%. Yeah, fuck fucking Hegseth for deciding that, like, most of the pagan religions just don't fucking count all of a sudden. Direct violation of the fucking First Amendment. I burnt my nose. Oh. 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 I just gotta stand up and stretch for a minute. Oh, fuck. Oh. Ooh, I feel woozy. I don't like feeling woozy. They got a special exception for Mormons. Enough Congress members complained. Too bad there's no openly atheist Congress members. Yeah. Drink a glass of water. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. The fucking water from the tap in my house just tastes not good. And, you know, I don't really have any other sources of water. So, you know. I don't need no water. I'm fine. You know what I need? More pot. The only way out is through. I need a water break. No. What about one of those filter pitchers in the meantime? Yeah, I'm definitely going to give me one of those for sure. Whether I get the whole house filter or not, I'm definitely going to get one of those when I get paid. You just reminded me. Well, I'm glad. I do have some iced coffee here, and I need to remember that I've got that. By the way, members only live chat picks up in like 5 minutes, and we're probably going to do some guitar music. So if you want to be able to ask if I know your favorite song, sign up for the membership. It's cheap, and it's a great way to support the channel. I have mine. Let's smoke. Oh, Lord. Oh. No, I'm kidding. It genuinely might help. I look good today? Thank you. That's it, I'm busting out a cigar. Nice. I agree. HR support. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. I can already tell you guys. Oh man, I'm gonna sleep until like 10, and I'm gonna be so well rested. Hello. I love bugs as well. My close personal friend, King Bugs. My close personal friend. Yeah, no, King Bugs is dope. They've always got good things to add. You know what? I am gonna have to go get another drink. No, I don't support Israel. Fuck, dude. Do I get some of the not good, bad tasting water out of the tap, or do I just get some sweet tea? Because there is some in the fridge. I don't know, but I will be right back. I'm going to go get me some. And hopefully the walk will make me feel better too. I'll leave my mic in here. Oh. TJ texted me. I wonder how many texts I missed. Probably more than it looks. What's up, everybody? I'm back. Low power mode? Damn. Well, I guess we'll have to do some music before the mic runs out, because I want to test it. I want to see how it sounds as I'm playing. So we'll stick it over here. We'll see how it does. I think what I was misinterpreting as sickness and wooziness was actually just me needing to take a shit, by the way. So, you know, good for me, I guess. That was probably a little TMI. I know, it is neat, isn't it? You guys are going to have to tell me how it does with the guitar and voice at the same time, though. Shakedown 1979. Cool kids never had the time. You knew when I should meet one day. June bug scamping like a stone. Headlights pointed at the dawn. We were sure we'd never see an end to it all. And we don't even care to shake these hippo blues. And we don't know just where our bones will rest. The dust, I guess, cemented in the dust and the bones below. Whew, okay, so I wanted to do just the first verse and chorus and do like a sound test. So how did that sound? We're already down to 15% battery, so I'm about to have to switch off the mic. Sounds great? Nice. Nice. King Bugs with the $10. The King Dolores. Thank you. The $10. I appreciate it. Oh, shit. Any real mic is going to be better than a phone mic. Well, that's fair enough, I suppose. I want to play a real song before I go. I don't know. Or not before I go, but before I have to turn the mic off. We sat on the foam rocks with rum wine, and we watched the fog roll and swallow the bridge on the bay. Thought I could live here, but I'm stuck in high gear and sweating and freezing 3,000 away. Old Pennsylvania, 3 Mile Island, your coal fires buckle the miner's highway. I'd love just to leave you, but it's good to see you. And old Philadelphia, hostile city, PA, where we all come from. Most died of the black lung, another browbeater, a boxer and saint. When he finally got caught, the cops made a few calls. He opened his cell, never fought him again. Old Pennsylvania, 3 Mile Island, your coal fires buckle miner's highway. I'd love just to leave you, but it's good to see you. And old Philadelphia, hostile city, PA. And old Philadelphia, hostile city, PA. Wake me when Steel City's roadwork signs shine in my face. Ooh, now I'm safe. Fuck yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna have to connect it to the battery real quick. Hold on. Where'd the battery go? You sound great tonight. Aw, thank you. It's probably just the mic. But that was a really good test. I'm glad it worked well. And I feel like I made a good purchase with these. Hell yeah. That is dope. That is so cool. Freebird? I don't know Freebird. Oh, damn. We have 63 people watching. Oh, that's funny. Now that I disconnect the mic and everything and I'm back to sounding however, you know, now's when we get the big audience numbers. It's the mic and your voice. You flatter me. Freebird, what a bitch made request. Yeah, I tend to agree, because it feels like the most fucking lame, everybody's heard it fucking mass request ever. It's not a real request. Nobody actually wants to hear Freebird. Everybody just wants to be the person that says Freebird. Because everybody thinks they're fucking the most hilarious motherfucker that was ever born. That's all that is. You still sound good? Okay, cool. That's good. Damn it. Hey, what's up, Ignar? What's up? Yeah, I'm about to be starting up the members only live chat, so if people want to hang around, you can still watch for free, but if you want to be able to tell me which one of your favorite songs to play, you'll have to sign up for the membership, which is very simple. It's very easy to do, and it's cheap. It's not expensive. But that's about to be happening. Now, let's see here. Thank you, King Bugs, for the 5 gifted memberships. I don't know why I didn't see that. I don't know how I didn't see that. What? Okay, anyway. There we go. Now it's just the cool people. Members and mods, members and mods, members and mods, live chat. I don't know if I'm a member still, but I was gonna do a stream myself once I snag an after work beer. Well, I tell you what, if you want to, you could, never mind, I don't know how that would work. But I wish we could co-stream. That would be fun. But with how I'm doing my streams now, although I guess since I'm not using the mic, it doesn't really matter. But I don't know. It would be like a lot of effort to restart the stream and everything. And your girl's allergic to effort. The bestest people. We've got the bestest people in our membership. All the best people in the membership. Let's see here. Water and pictures of you, and I'm not coming out until this is all over. And I'm looking through the glass where the light bends at the cracks, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, pretending that the echoes belong to someone. To know. And will become once until the skin cracks and they explode. And it won't be a pretty sight. It will become silhouettes of the bodies finally go. It will become silhouettes of the bodies finally go. Very nice, baby. Thank you. And thank you, King Bugs, for the additional $10. I appreciate that a ton. And any of you guys who happen to be members, thank you guys for being members. Sorry. Who doesn't want a gay male volleyball player? I read that comment of Melanie's and I was like, I have not heard of that person, but that sounds, like, I don't know, God's most recent gift to queerdom, I guess. You know what? I'm going to look up the correct chords on how to play that song. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, man, I'm so excited. That's not right. I feel like maybe my version is just better. Oh. Well, we're kids building models of a world that we might want to live in. We're sorting feelings in our stomachs. Is it liberation or starvation? But have we made it anywhere at all if the dishes are never done? If we can't live without dishwashers, how would we live without cops? So you're asking me, who does the dishes after the revolution? Well, I do my own dishes now, I'll do my own dishes then. You know it's always the ones who don't that ask that fucking question. Well, I don't believe in God, but I'm also not an atheist. Because the universe is chaos, but chaos plays favorites. And you know lately I've been thinking about how I love Jesus. Because Jesus, he was a dirty homeless hippie peace activist. He said drop out and find God to anybody who would listen. Turning water into space bags. Turning water into space bags. Turning water into space bags with lowlifes and anarchists. Wee. Loud ass motherfucking song. Should I play an MGK song, you guys? Should I play an MGK song? Will you really play something for me? Sure, what is it? It'll save me from having to play an MGK song. Just something you pick? Oh. Oh. Something I pick. Aw, for Taylor's request, thank you for the $10, King Bugs. That's very kind of you. Let's see here. Fuck. Alrighty. Alrighty. Hi, Taylor. I think you'll notice when things become different, the good vibes in our lives won't feel so consistent, and less becomes more 'cause the weight is too heavy. I swim in the water that's breaking a levee. The way that you left me, it's alright, it's alright. If I argue the point, then we yell and we fight, and I won't be home for the rest of the night. You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right. This is your life, there's no way to run from it. The doubt in your brain or the pain in your stomach. I only have but one complaint at the moment. Don't paint me black when I used to be golden. The way that you left me's alright. It's alright if I argue the point, then we yell and we fight. But I won't be home for the rest of the night. You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right. Holy shit, I can't play guitar anymore. Crying, thank you, friend. Aw. Well, I didn't think I would have quite that much of a reaction, but, you know, you asked a song for you, so I figured I should do one that's got some, like, personal relevance and that you showed me, you know? Only fair. Thank you, King Bugs, for the additional $10. I appreciate that a ton. I love all of y'all. Well, we fucking love the shit out of you. You guys ever heard the song Digging Shelters by Neil Halstead? Anybody in this fucking chat ever heard that song? Anybody ever heard the song Digging Shelters by Neil Halstead? You know who I haven't seen in here all day? Margot. I hope she's still around. Can't say I have. I bet it's just gonna be me and Taylor. But Taylor might not even remember that song. Well, Choo-Choo's passing through anyway, so. Dude, I added a little fruit juice to the sweet tea, because it's not exactly as sweet as I like it, so I figured, hell, what the hell, I'll just add some juice to it anyway. And it tastes way better. I tried catching a limping stray cat tonight. It's been giving me existential angst. I'm so sorry. That does suck. You didn't fail in your purpose, though. Must be a heavily laden train because it's shaking the whole building. voices out the street. Yeah, it's closing time again. Oh, that was Digging Shelters by Neil Halstead. I'm not going to play the whole song. That's the thing, I'm still figuring out how to play it well. Thank you for the $10, King Bugs. I appreciate that a ton. I want to be able to play more Neil Halstead songs. You hung up the phone and I asked you what was wrong. Your dad has come to town, he'd like to meet. I said you don't have to see him, but for whatever reason you can't tell him no. So we meet him at a bar. You were holding my hand hard. He ordered rum and coke. I can't drink either anymore. Hadn't seen you since the 5th grade. Now you're 19 and 5'8". He said, honey, you sure look great. Did you get the text I sent on your birthday? I would kill him if you let me. I would kill him quick and easy. Your nails are digging into my knee. I don't know how you keep smiling. I love your eyes, and he has them, or you have his, 'cause he was first. I imagine my thumbs on the irises pressing in until they burst. I clear my throat and say we ought to get home. He offers us a ride. I reply, no, that's all right. When we leave, he sees us walking. So we walked a mile in the wrong direction. I would kill him if you let me. I would kill him quick and easy. Your nails are digging into my knee. I don't know how you keep smiling. I don't know how you keep smiling. No, I don't know how you keep smiling. I wanna take your face between my hands and say you two are connected by a pure coincidence, bound to him by blood, but baby, it's all relative. He's been in you've been in his fist ever since you were a kid, but you don't owe him shit, even if he said you did. You don't owe him shit, even if he thinks you did. That was Thumbs by Lucy Dacus. Thank you, King Bugs, for the additional $10. I appreciate that. You're gonna make me cry, Phoebes. I'm too drunk for this. I want to make myself cry. That song's hard. Yeah, I was just asking where you were. I'm glad to see you in here, Margot. Oh, shit. Yeah. Let's all cry. I'm here for it. Yeah. I know, right? Fuck. Alrighty. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I figured out what I was missing. Day off in Kyoto, but at the temple, drowned at the 7-Eleven. About took the speed train, I went to the arcade. Wanted to go, but I didn't. Called me from my payphone, they still got payphones. It cost $1 a minute to tell me you're getting sober. You wrote me a letter, but I don't have to read it. I'm gonna kill you if you don't beat me to it. Dream me through Tokyo skies. I wanted to see the world. Then I flew over the ocean and I changed my mind. Sunset's been a freak show on the weekend, so been riding out to the suburbs to park at the Goodwill and out at the chemtrails with my little brother. Said you called on his birthday, you're off by like 10 days, but you get a few points for trying. Remember getting the truck fixed when you let us drive it. 25 felt like flying. I don't forgive you, but please don't only do it. On under Scorpio skies, I wanted to see a world. Then I through your eyes until it happened. Then I changed my mind. Guess I lied, 'cause I'm alive. Ooh, that's a good song. Thank you, King Bugs. I appreciate that a ton. $20. I appreciate it. Thank you. I wanted a water. Help me, please. Oh, yeah. Well, that's another one I played because I thought, I wonder if Taylor's still around. I'll play Kyoto and she'll let me know. Nice that you're getting loads of songs in the stream. Yeah, no, for sure, dude. I'm big ups to King Bugs. Yeah. No, it's really rough. I kind of want to play a song I remember as you saying, you know, like being one of her favorite songs, but I don't know if that would be disrespectful. I'd also need to listen to it real quick to remind myself of exactly the melody. I've only just seen what you said. I'm sorry to hear that, and yeah, that's it's just I mean, I'm one of Taylor's best friends, and I don't even know what to say. The sister in question is so young. I mean, both of Taylor's sisters are young, but fuck, man. Now, what do you even say? Besides, what a shame and what could have been. Oh. I also don't know if I would do a good version anyway, so who knows? Maybe it'd be a bad idea. Just responding to Dan. The song I was thinking of was She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5. And I hope I'm just not getting my wires crossed. Probably am, knowing me. I mean, it looks like it's pretty easy to play if you want me to give it a shot in honor of her. I almost said her name, but I caught myself. I don't want to dox you. I don't, you know. Fuck, man. I'll try it. We'll try it. I'm gonna listen to it alongside while I play. One of the things I can do now that I've got two phones. Actually, I might not be able to do that. I might not be able to you know, listen at the same time. I mean, just because I've got to sing it at a different. I'll try it at the actual, like, original chord position. Okay. Okay, I think I found a key I can play it in. Beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble with herself. He was always there to help her. She always belonged to someone else. I drove for miles and miles and wound up at your door. I've had you so many times, but somehow I want more. I don't mind spending every day out on the corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the broken smile. Ask her if she wants to stay a while, and she will be loved, and she will be loved. Tap on my window, knock on my door. I wanna make you feel beautiful. I know I tend to get so insecure. It doesn't matter anymore. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise that moves us along. Yeah, my heart is full, my door's always open. You can come anytime you want. I don't mind spending every day out on your corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the broken smile. Ask her if she wants to stay a while, and she will be loved, and she will be loved. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the bridge. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the bridge. So I'm just gonna do the chorus one more time. I don't mind spending every day out on the corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the broken smile. Ask her if she wants to stay a while, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved. Well, I've never tried to play a Maroon 5 song, but I tried to give it a respectful rendition. Best I am able. I wish I was a more skilled musician. Fuck, man. I'm taking a ride off to one side. It is a personal thing where when I can't stand up in this cage, I'm not regretting. I don't need a better thing. I'd settle for less. It's another thing for me. I just wonder, I just have to wander through this world alone. Stop before you fall into the hole that I have dug here. Rest even as you are starting to feel the way I used to. I don't need a better thing, just to sound confused. Don't talk about everyone. I am not amused by you. 'Cause I'm gonna lose you. Yes, I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna lose you. If I'm gonna lose you. If I'm gonna lose you. Yes, I'm gonna lose you. Ow. Ah. Ow. Oh. I gotta put this up for a while. Ow. Oh. Man. Fuck. Well, we are at 2 hours. We're past the 2-hour mark, so. Not like I couldn't, you know? Not like I couldn't. Oh, I just can't imagine. I feel so bad for her kids. I cannot imagine my kid growing up without either of us, me and his other parent. Oh, fuck, man. Okay, anyway, yeah, I'm literally just sitting here spinning visions like a fucking spider. Ugh. I hate my brain. Fuck, man. Fuck. Yeah. Well, you know, that's no doubt. Well, cheers. I'll smoke to that. Bring me your love tonight. Bring me your love tonight. No, I am not where I belong. Bring me your love tonight. No, I'm not where I belong. Shine a light, guide me home. No, I am not where I belong. So shine a light, guide me home. It was this time last year I was a wreck over my nephew. You have no need to apologize. No, yeah, I know, for sure, for sure. Sorry to bring down the mood. I enjoyed your song, Phoebe. No, you're totally fine, Taylor. It's what community's for, like somebody else in the chat said. I had to take a break from the guitar, not because of the, subject matter, but because I moved my guitar and it hurt my leg to do so. Oh, I think I gave myself like a longitudinal bruise. So I needed to put it up for a minute. Grief proves our humanity. Yeah, a little bit. But I think humanity is shared by more animals than we give it credit for. Elephants also grieve their dead. Life is so goofy. Every animal that is aware of its own mortality wishes to avoid it by whatever means necessary. And in fact, the desire to avoid one's own mortality goes so deep that primitive behaviors and responses to this effect are maintained by basically every form of life on the planet. And the responses just get more complex the higher up the food chain you go. But I guess it's just funny to me, right? Because the fundamental nature of being a living thing is resisting the very thing that makes nature possible, which is death and the formation of new energy from that, right? Entropy. And I just think it's kind of funny and self-contradictory in a way that can have no explanation other than there being a natural explanation for the world's events and stuff, because it's just like, what a conundrum. Life sucks, but it's so beautiful. Yeah, that's one of the things I've been having to contend with across this year. I haven't had anything nearly as bad as what Taylor has been through, but you know, November of last year I got dumped, basically. So early November last year I got dumped. Spent the entirety of this year as a single parent learning how to do that and everything. And I don't know, as things have been fucked up and getting worse, especially on the national stage and everything, there have also been things that have been looking up a lot in my personal life. Like, my computer is a good computer now. It can actually run shit. And play games on it with high graphics settings if I want them. I got a platform bed frame that doesn't require a box spring. And so now my bed actually sits nice and up off the floor and on something that is nice and solid that my fat ass can't fucking pop or break through or anything else. And it's got a headboard with like charging shit so I can charge my phone right there off the headboard. So, you know, like quality of life shit, I'm doing good. Got that bank account thing taken care of, and you know, here within the next few months I can finally get myself kind of back in a good financial position. Not just, you know, making money, but actually saving money and not owing a bunch of debt. So that'll be awesome. Get that off my back. So it's been a year of ups and downs. Of course, on the personal front, it's been a real joy to watch as my kid gets bigger and bigger and has more and more of a little personality. He's adorable. And I saw lots of beautiful things when we were on our trip to Missouri. Even though, like, a lot of people wouldn't find that trip that beautiful, I do. I fucking do. Even though we don't really get that close to any of the super beautiful parts of Missouri, we do go down 32 coming out of Farmington, which is just one of the most beautiful roads in the state. You know what? I really do think, you know, me and my mom were talking about it as we were on that trip, and she was like, I think you'll end up moving back here someday. And I was like, I think you're right. I think she's right. I think eventually I will end up back in Missouri. You know, when? I don't know. but I think eventually I will. I could honestly see myself getting a job with the tourism department or something eventually. I'm just such a good promoter. Or maybe I could get sponsored by the Department of whatever it is. The Conservation Department. I forget what they call themselves. I think it is the Missouri Department of Conservation, but that's probably not who I'm thinking of. I think it is, though. They're the ones who maintain the state parks and shit like that. I don't know. Point is, there should be and there probably already is something like this, but at every Missouri Welcome Center, there should be a pamphlet specifically dedicated to the most beautiful roads in this state. Not this state. In Missouri. God damn it. That should be revealing, if anything. Such a fucking Missourian, I just naturally say this state when I'm talking about there, but I don't live there anymore. Fuck. I gotta get back. Man. Anymore I feel foreign down here, guys. Not real, it's hard to describe, I don't know. Maybe foreign's not the way to put it. But man, I just feel like a fucking fish out of water in the deep south. And I didn't really feel like a fish out of water up in Missouri. Missouri, yes, 100%. Missouri's a way better state than Mississippi, for sure. Missouri's beautiful. Missourians be hating ass bitches about this place. The world is beautiful. I know, dude. I don't even understand people that are like that. I flatly don't get them, dude. Well, you know what? You know when the one exception to that is? If it's somebody that happens to be on social media, because I use Reddit these days, not super often. I'm not on it like I used to be on Facebook or anything, but you know, I use Reddit a little bit, and one of the things that I will see on there is people talking about, because I joined the Missouri subreddit, and one of the things I will one of the things I will see being posted and bandied about is people, just kind of hating on Missouri, whether it's in comments or in posts or whatever. And because it's social media, occasionally you'll find someone that's like 16 or whatever, and their only experience of the state is they grew up in a place like where you're from or where I used to live in Missouri, and they don't really have access to that much of Missouri's natural beauty. And they can't drive on their own yet, maybe, or they can't afford to, even if they technically could, etc. Oh, my grass is too green, my trees are too bushy, my wildlife is too abundant. I know. I've got too many beautiful, pristine, year-round flowing streams and creeks. I've got too many beautiful, fertile, rolling hills. I've got too many dense, almost Appalachian-style Ozark mountains with forests and little brooks and stuff. You gotta take it off my hands. Missourians got so much fucking lake, we be giving it away to tourists. Look into it. It's called Branson. It's called Lake of the Ozarks. It's called Table Rock Lake. Oh. Missourians got so much fucking beauty, so much natural beauty, that they sell it to the world with the tourist dollar. Okay, yeah, all true Missourians hate Branson because we know that Branson ain't for us. But you know what Branson does do? Funds a lot of tax programs. It encourages people to see Missouri as something other than a flyover state, and that's kind of nice. Although, you know what sucks about Branson? The fact that Branson exists kind of prevents people from exploring some of the other really profoundly beautiful parts of Missouri. Like, how many people you think miss out on Elephant Rock State Park because they hit up Branson instead? Cars are prohibitively expensive now. If you don't have one, it's so much harder to get one. Gas and insurance is so damn much you need to save for those two before you even buy a car. Lol. Being on the water is nice. Oh yeah, I would imagine. What's on fucking Table Rock Lake, or isn't it? Or Lake of the Ozarks, one of those two? So, it jolly well tootin' should be. But yeah, no, for sure. In the city, man, I have beef with Branson. What did Branson do? Wait a minute, I think you might have told me the story, actually. I think you might have told me the story. Dude, from what I hear, though, Branson at this point is, like, it's like becoming, like, the city of MAGA or something. Like, there's tons of Trump tourism, apparently, that happens in Branson. And it's just like, fuck, people. Go to fucking Arcadia Valley, for Christ's sake. The Abbey and the fucking Davidson need your fucking custom, okay? All the conservatives from the West Coast moved to Branson. Well, not exactly. Maybe some of them do. I'll tell you where a lot of them probably move is places that are like that vibe. I think a lot of fucking West Coast and East Coast and just richy rich kind of conservatives that want to move to a more rural kind of backwoodsy area, they use Branson as their like staging point to have something really fun to do on a vacation, but also, you know, they can take the kids on these long drives, which are really to assess what's property like out in the backwoods, you know. They and do that 2 days in the fucking 5-day vacation, and there you go. Your scouting trip is done, and you figured out some places. So I bet, like, there's probably some, but honestly, Branson is like a fucking ridiculously expensive fucking place, and not really that enjoyable to live in, from my understanding. I've never lived there, but from my understanding, as someone who was, you know, born and raised part of the way in Missouri, I personally feel like Branson, based on everything I've heard and everything I know about it, would not be a good place to live year-round. Because it's got a heavily tourism-based economy, and it seems like a lot of what the town is set up for is to, like, accommodate that tourism. And in, like, it takes a very specific kind of town and a very specific sort of model in order to blend those two things seamlessly. To have a town that is functional, where regular working class people can make a living and afford to stay there, and that is, like, good for tourists. It happens. Like, look at North Adams, Mass. You know, like, it clearly happens. But it requires a certain combination of things, and I just don't know that has it. Yeah, my beef with Branson is that the place we stayed had friends that followed us home. Oh, yeah. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, that's fucking awful. Oh, I can thank that family for showing me how the upper middle class lives, though. Yeah, that was always the weird thing to me, too, about interacting with his family. Especially because, like, when me and Colin first became friends, they weren't that well off. They were doing good for themselves, but, um, you know, his dad went from making, like, good money to making, like, hella good money at a certain point. And that's when their lifestyle started to kind of, like, change, and they moved up to where they ended up living and everything. And, dude, it was marked how different. I don't know. It's just interesting looking back at it. But yeah, it was my first experience with that too. Well, not I guess my first experience with it. The only other thing it could remind me of was my aunt, my dad's sister, who, you know, she's always been pretty well off. She got a really good job with a major distribution company, basically. And I remember her like having a big old house when I was a kid. Now I would think about it as like a mansion or something, but it was just huge, bunch of different rooms, big open floor plan, just awesome. I think it had 2 different staircases to get up and down. Fuck, that thing was dope. You remember when we went down for the first time? I said, damn, I ain't never been in no house like this before. Yeah, dude. Like I said, the only thing I can even compare that house of theirs to would be the one that my aunt had when I was a kid. When I was a kid, she had this house that was just huge and beautiful. And then at some point, she got rid of that, and I think she's been renting an apartment for the last, I don't know, 10 years or something. But when I was a kid, though, she had a nice-ass house like that or similar. And I remember like it being such a culture shock the first time I went in there, which would have been a couple of years before that time you're talking about. And I was struck by the same shock. I was like, damn, this is fucking nice. Man, I feel like I'm not even allowed to have shoes on in here. Should I like take my shoes off and fucking like, do I need to fucking like go take a shower real quick or something? Or like, are pores allowed in here? It wasn't even the size really, it was the quality. I had friends with big houses growing up, but no, none so nice. Well, that's the fucking thing, is like, I feel, now maybe you'll disagree with me, but I feel like most of the time, for a house to feel big, it kind of has to be pretty high quality and built to a certain standard. But, I guess there are some exceptions. But also, the one I'm thinking of kind of proves the rule and also excludes it. Like, my ex Paige's house, you remember my ex Paige. And, her family's, her family home was huge. Fucking massive. It was like an old plantation house or something. And they rented it from somebody for like $600 a month under the agreement that they would do most of the maintenance and stuff, which they did. But it was like a 3-story house. I'm not even kidding. It was like a fucking, I don't know, like the size of a downtown building almost. The thing was comically large. But it didn't feel that huge when you were inside it. Pretty much as soon as you went in the front door, it felt a lot smaller because it was built pretty high quality, but it was also old. And it hadn't been like renovated and modernized or anything. Because if it had been renovated and modernized and expanded or even restored or something, like, no matter what direction you went with it, you could have gotten a place that felt a lot bigger than their place did. But number one, it was kind of cluttered, not in a bad way, not in a hoarder way, but they had, like Paige had, I think, 2 or 3 little siblings, and then a couple of older siblings. Most of them lived with them, and toys and shit that come along with that. But they were pretty clean people, and pretty clean, as insofar as how they taught their kids to be. So it wasn't like it was hazardous to walk around in there, gross or anything. It was just, there was lots of stuff, and the more stuff you have, the less space it looks like you have, because I guess, the less space you do have. And I feel like a combination of factors like that can make a place that is huge feel a lot smaller. Like, for example, in a really nice house that's being built today that's got 2 stories, well, if the second story does take up most of the floor space above the, what will be the ceiling of the ground floor level, they would, instead of, like, lowering the ceiling effectively to, be like a standard 8 feet or so, 8, 10, I don't know what I think it's like 8 actually. But instead of like lowering it to a standard like 8-foot ceiling, they might leave it a 10-foot ceiling instead. Whereas builders of old would have preferred to drop that down and create kind of like an insulatory barrier between the 2 floors and create a smaller area for the air to circulate in to keep the whole house warmer. But that's less important in an era where you've got way better methods of insulation and you can deploy it wherever you want. And in an era where we've got better materials, we've got better heating and cooling methods, we've got better abatement methods, and so like vaulted roofs and like maximum height ceilings are, I think, most of what people are thinking of when they think of like super nice houses, like the one that family lived in. Because I remember it had a big old vaulted ceiling throughout part of the house, and then the upper story sat in kind of like the adjacent areas of that. But it's insane what a difference a vaulted ceiling makes in terms of the amount of space that you feel like you're in and the amount of quality that is implied by the structure, even though there's nothing inherently about a vaulted ceiling that actually implies quality. See, I don't think that all new builds are inherently always trash. I think that there are still some competent builders out there, and some custom homemakers and stuff like that. I don't know what they would be, and I doubt there are any on a big commercial scale, because that kind of thing tends to fuck up most things. But I have no doubt that that sort of thing still exists on some level. But you're right, for the most part, a lot of new build type shit is garbage. I personally think that if I ever had the money, it would be really nice to eventually have a tiny house that's kind of built almost like a miniature version of one of those big McMansions, but with way, 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 way smaller space to deal with. But ultimately, I would want to combine that kind of like high quality feeling look with a sort of toned down, vibrant woodwork. So kind of like cabin-esque. I don't know how to put it. But I know I would want it to feel bright in there. I'm just tired of people seeing people buy these homes and ruin them, removing stained glass, built-ins, all of it just to make it gray and white. Oh yeah, dude, I hate that garbage. Ugh, man, yeah. I honestly, and I know this might sound like a Luddite position, but I genuinely believe that for buildings older than a certain date, and I think we should have conversations to determine what that date should be, but I think that houses built before a certain date, if they are to be torn down, or if they are to be sold or whatever, right? Any modification, I think it should be required that there's like preservation shit put into place. So that, like, if somebody wants to buy up this old house and turn it up into some shit that's like new and modern, and they've got to take out the original brownstone brickwork that was there since the 1940s or something, I think they should have to like arrange to have that picked up by some, I don't know, some federal institution or something that specifically works on gathering and preserving cultural, like relevant cultural artifacts. And take a building like that, take an example like that where maybe those bricks and maybe those brown stones are not worth, like, maybe they're not worth restoring. Maybe that was a building that has no particular historical note to it at all. Maybe it's always had problems and it's not worth preserving or whatever. Fine. But then there's a preservation project that needs that material and it's available. And they do an assessment anytime something like that happens. Is this something that we can even allow the sale of, or should we buy it as the city so that it can be preserved fully, restored to its original fucking condition? Or obviously, like a private citizen that wanted to restore it could just be like, hey, I'm going to buy this property and restore it, in which case, fine. Oh, shit. Was I asleep for a minute? You were passed out 15 minutes? What? No way. That's not real. That's fake. Cereal? Oh. Okay. Well, I guess I need to get off here then. I'm really tired. Good night, you guys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go sleep. Anyway. Good night. Good night, guys.